Good morning, it's Saturday. Let's start the show.
Your weekend scoop, it's Lady Roll. Hot topics rolling in, the stories you need. From breaking news flashes to celebrity tea. With a smile and the truth, you'll always know what's buzzing today with Lady Roll. Go! The Saturday morning scoop, the Saturday morning scoop. Wake up the week and let's gather the group. The Saturday morning scoop, the Saturday morning scoop with Lady Roll. Bringing it all to you. Start your Saturday right with Lady Roll Insight. Start your Saturday bright with Lady Roll Insight. With Lady Roll Insight. The Saturday morning scoop, the Saturday morning scoop. Wake up the week and let's gather the group. The Saturday morning scoop, the Saturday morning scoop with Lady Roll. Bringing it all to you. Start your Saturday bright with Lady Roll Insight. With Lady Roll Insight. Start your Saturday bright with Lady Roll Insight.
Good morning. That's a little long. Good morning. I probably need to change my background because I am not liking the way that looks. Give me a moment. Let me see what I can change this to because that looks crazy. We'll go there. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Living for Me. Thanks for joining me this morning in the live. I was going through some things before I got started. My desk is a mess. I got 3 computers laptops stacked on top of each other. Work laptop, personal on the bottom, work, and then MacBook on top. Woo, what a day. What a day. I got a lot of appointments today. I got to get some self-care, nails done, feet done. I got my eyebrows done, arched last night. So I'm just going to go do some things for me today. But let's get started with the Saturday morning scoop with Lady Roll. Got some nice things on the docket today, or on the schedule. We're going to start out with Montel Jordan and what's going on with Montel Jordan. Then we're going to talk about Dr. Heavenly. She was on Jamal Bryant's podcast this past week, and I thought that her her story was interesting. We're going to talk about Michelle. Let me see if I can pronounce her last name. Rilla Chardam. She was a young lady who was an OnlyFans model who they said unalived someone through asphyxiation during one of their sessions. The 6th thing we're going to talk about is a cheerleader who was arrested after she had given birth to a baby, and the baby was found deceased in the closet. And then we're going to talk about how polls are showing, the new study is showing that polls show how school drop-offs are impacting parents. We're going to talk about Governor Newsom and just see what he's doing over there on Twitter, how he's over there clowning and showing out. And then we're going to end it with an open letter that I wrote about some drama that's going on YouTube this week. I'm not a part of the drama, but I'm going to address it. Good morning, Alicia. Let's start off with something that is near and dear to my heart, just because I am a medical professional. September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, and I don't know if many of you know Montel Jordan, but Montel Jordan is the guy who sings "This Is How We Do It." Y'all remember that little tune? Well, Montel Jordan on this week, he did a interview with the Today Show, and he did one with the Breakfast Club. And he's speaking about how he found out he had prostate cancer. So I'm going to leave this up because this is important. Prostate cancer. September is Prostate Cancer Month. I'm one of the healthcare awareness people at my church. And so this is one of the things I sent out to the members of our church. Of course, it wasn't this particular one, but it was a thing about them going to get screening for our men. We need our men. We need y'all to be healthy. We need you to go get screened. So I sent this out so that the gentleman in the church could be aware of prostate cancer awareness. And prostate cancer awareness, although men most of the time think of being checked digitally, they have blood tests that can determine whether or not you need other screenings for prostate cancer. So we're going to go and let's look at what Montel Jordan had to talk about. Oh, let's see which one we're going to do first. Let's do the Today Show. No, let's not even do the Today Show. Let's do the Breakfast Club. No, this is the Today Show.
September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. The American Cancer Society estimates more than 300,000 men in the United States have been diagnosed with prostate cancer so far this year.
And this hits so close to home for our next guest, singer.
Disclaimer: some material in this video is used under U.S. copyright fair use section 107 for purposes such as commentary, criticism, news reporting, and education. Today we're going to talk about I'm going to give a bunch of commentary, do some little bit of criticism, a lot of news reporting, and some education as well. So again, I'm just evoking the fair use disclaimer. I can't really invoke anything, but let's go back to this video.
September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. The American Cancer Society estimates more than 300,000 men in the United States have been diagnosed with prostate cancer so far this year.
And this hits so close to home for our next guest, singer and songwriter Montel Jordan, known for hits like This Is How We Do It.
Well, in January 2024, Montel received a life-changing diagnosis after a routine checkup found that his PSA score was elevated. Now he's opening up about his cancer journey in a documentary called Sustain.
In getting that diagnosis, I didn't know what to do. Like, there was no GPS, if you will, on, okay, when you get this, I made a song called This Is How We Do It, and there was no This Is How We Do It for me to help me navigate that.
Montel, good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for opening up.
What's up, family? Good to see you.
Good to see you too. So it was your birthday, December 3rd, just last year, you first opened up about this. And I remember when I got my diagnosis, you hear prostate cancer, you really, to me, you just heard cancer.
Yeah.
What was your initial reaction when your doctor told you?
Initial reaction is, I don't feel like I have cancer.
Yeah.
I didn't feel any different. There were no symptoms. There were nothing like that. And it was just because for the past decade, I had been getting regular checkups and screenings just to watch over my body and watch over my health, that over a period of time, they were able to look and see, hey, these numbers have been increasing and now there is concern here. So I was shocked, but because of the early detection of it, I knew I had options available.
Mm-hmm. And that option for you was surgery. You had your prostate removed. You announced that you were cancer-free.
Yeah.
How are you doing now?
Doing well. New journey. I announced that I was cancer free, but some months later, still going and getting checkups and detection and things like that, just to follow up care. And now realizing I'm not completely on the other side of that journey, and still have some additional work that needs to be done that starts in October. So fully confident. I know God is healer. I also know that I have the greatest of care professionals and people that are alongside of me to make sure that we are completely cancer free. To be a cancer survivor, I never knew there was a such thing as being a 2-time cancer survivor. And so that's the journey that I'm on right now.
Okay.
So as we sit here right now, you're battling cancer again, but you're also an ambassador for an organization called Zero. It's a nonprofit that helps people with resources who are diagnosed with prostate cancer, gives them access to resources.
Yes.
Why was it important for you to become attached to that organization?
Well, Zero Cancer is an amazing organization. The strange thing when we connected was it was not something that I ever thought I would need to do. But 30 years of this is how we do it. Zero Cancer has been around for 30 years. And so it just seemed like it was the perfect opportunity to come together with September being Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, to be able to try and get men checked, to get families, legacies back put together. And I know people can go to zerocancer.org/September to be able to do all the things that they need to do to help view their lives and get themselves detected early.
Montel, you were fully expecting to come here to be able to say, I'm cancer free.
Yes.
And so what's your message to folks who all of a sudden, when they think maybe they're out of the woods and yet they're not quite?
Yeah, I think early detection saves lives. I've had a journey of my life where I felt like my music helped change people's hearts. I felt like my ministry helped save people's souls. I felt like my marriage has helped change family legacy. And now my medical journey is going to help save some lives. And Zero and us have come together to do this and to, sing from the mountaintops. And this is very personal. This is not an easy thing to do, to speak this out. But I know that a man's life is going to be saved. We're trying to help save 100,000 lives with Zero.
Especially for African Americans.
Yes.
Which are twice as likely to be diagnosed or to expire from the disease. And it's treatable. When caught early, it's 99% treatable. And I think that's super, super important. The whole stigma about, prostate cancer and getting checked. I mean, men, we have to, I would even say, not just men, I would say for the women, the mothers, the wives,
sisters.
the daughters,
Yes.
the sisters, the aunts, the men in your life need to be checked. And that's super, super important.
Your wife, Kristen, is here.
Yes, she is. Yes, she
So
is.
good to see that support. And I know you couldn't have done this without her.
Oh, no question. Faith, first of all, knowing God is my healer. Secondly, having the right person by my side to do this alongside of having a great family, kids, grandkids, super, super important on this journey.
What I hope folks who are watching and listening take away from this is here's a guy who did what he was supposed to do for years. You went in, you got checked. Had you not done that, we're not having this conversation right now.
I was diagnosed with Gleason 6 early first stage prostate cancer. Upon having the removal, it was diagnosed, the biopsied removed prostate was stage 2, more aggressive prostate cancer. And so now 9 months later, going to get checked and finding, okay, there just may be some other things there that we want to take care of. And so if I'm not getting checked, basically I'm playing Russian roulette with my life. Yeah.
Wow. Well, Montel, thank you so much for sharing this because it's so important. And for more on Montel's story, just head to today.com.
That was Montel Jordan. He is still getting treatments. He's not cancer free, but he is on the road to being in remission. He had a prostatectomy, I believe, where he had his entire prostate removed. And he goes on to more of that on his Breakfast Club interview. He talks about more about what's going on. But he is an ambassador for Zero Prostate Cancer, which is a foundation that is just there to help people with prostate cancer, especially men. Again, early detection is the key. Black men are so amped to not go and get checkups like they should. My husband, he goes regularly to the physician. I'm thankful for that. Most of my friends that I know go regularly to the physicians or providers. So if you feel like that you need to go get a checkup for any reason, go do it. Again, like I said, a blood test, which is called a PSA, a prostate antigen test, will tell whether or not, if it's elevated, that means there's something going on with your prostate. It doesn't always mean it's cancer, but it does mean something's going on. So you really should go see your physician, your provider, and get the necessary checkups that you need. That first interview I found on YouTube, but it's from the Today Show. It's talking about Montel Jordan. The second piece is on Zero Prostate Cancer, zerocancer.org. Stay Informed is the name of this website. And on this website, Montel Jordan gives his story, and he talks about what he's gone through, and he's breaking it down about how he's an advocate, and he's out here because Black men face the highest rate of prostate cancer deaths in the country. We are Black men are 70% more likely to be diagnosed with prostate cancer and twice likely to be unalive from that disease. So if you don't mind, tell your loved ones, tell your men the men that you love, to go get checked out, get those prostate exams, get that prostate test. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, because early detection is the key, just like breast cancer. It's the same way with men. And this is one of the things that at my church, again, I told you I'm a part of the health and wellness group or the department. And I actually had one of the providers from my job come and speak with the men on Sunday morning, early one Sunday morning. They all got there early. I provided with breakfast, and he came in and he talked to them about prostate health during September a couple of years ago. One of my favorite doctors. And I'm going to have to tell him that I even mentioned him on my live today. But so that is what I really want everybody to take, is that get your Black men, your men, out to get tested. All men, get out to get tested. Early detection is the key. And I have a patient who is over 100 years old and has been living with it for years. So get tested, get checked out, get the necessary treatments, and your life can be okay. Having your prostate removed is not the end of the world, even though a lot of men think it is. It's definitely not the end of the world. Second on my list today is my girl. Now, I like Dr. Heavenly. A lot of people don't like Dr. Heavenly, but I like Dr. Heavenly. Dr. Heavenly was recently on Jamal Bryant's podcast, and she talks about Bravo not letting her run for office. And I'm just going to give you a quick synopsis of what I have researched. Let me first speak to people. Hello, Living for Me. Hello, Alicia. Is that I don't know who else is in there. There's 3 people. We only have 2 people commenting, and I appreciate you guys for being in here. I'm drinking some tea, so it kind of brings up all of the drainage and everything in my throat. Dr. Heavenly Kynes is running for the Georgia House of Representatives, specifically for District 93, a Democrat. She is campaigning on such issues as healthcare access, education, economic opportunities, and police reform, aiming to give a voice to the community she has been a part of for over 25 years. Key details: office, Georgia House of Representatives, District 93. Party, she's running the Democratic race. Focus areas: improving healthcare, especially for elderly population, strengthening education, particularly in areas with low test scores, promoting economic growth and bringing jobs to the district, reforming the police department and addressing issues faced by the African American community. Motivation: Dr. Kynes feels that community voices are not being heard and wants to use her background and resources to advocate for her constituents. District 93 encompasses part of Rockdale, DeKalb, and Gwinnett counties. That is what I got on Dr. Heavenly. But I want to share what I found on Dr. I don't know why I keep looking up, because I thought I put the computer up high enough, but I'm going to get it right one day. One day, I'm going to get it right. Here we go.
I didn't know on Bravo you ain't allowed to run for office. Really?
We're not allowed to run for office, but hell, I didn't know it. And
What?
ignorance is bliss. Because
Yes.
baby, I had all these switches things. And you know, if I feel like I'm changing, I'm doing something unprecedented.
Yeah.
Because initially it took them 8 weeks to get my contract together because they
Yes.
said you can't do it. You can't tell me what I can't do.
That's right.
Then they did it again, the same thing, right? It took them 8 weeks. We only filmed 12 weeks. It took them 8 weeks. They
Wow.
had to get outside counsel to see if they could cover it, how they could cover it,
Right.
you know, and things like that. And they came back and they, you know, and they got the parameters where they can show it.
So Dr. Heavenly is going to be showing her run for candidate for the Georgia House of Representatives on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I mean, Married to Medicine. I'm sorry, Married to Medicine on Bravo. So you guys heard it here. If you want to hear more of that interview with Jamal Bryant, it's on Jamal Bryant's podcast, which is on YouTube, but you have to pay. You have to join. It's $9.99 a month. And then he has a podcast, I believe, that's probably found on any podcast station. And I'm not sure if he just has released like little bits and pieces of the interview. It seemed very interesting. But again, you have to pay $9.99 a month to join that over there on the YouTube for Jamal Bryant's podcast. Girl, he's going to get money any kind of way he can. Any kind of way him can. The next person we're going to talk about is Miss Mashala Brashay Relashadam, I believe is how you pronounce her name. I really don't know how to pronounce it. This young lady is an OnlyFans model. In 2023, she is accused of allegedly unaliving a gentleman by the name of Michael Dell by asphyxiation. He had paid her $11,000 to perform some kinky acts. Allegedly, she filmed the content as the client laid in the bed with a bag, tape, and saran wrap wrapped around his head. Let's listen to this craziness. Good morning, Kashara. Good. Oh, my Lord. When I read this, I thought this is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Case while the preliminary hearing is going on. Mr. Cohen, anything?
Right now, we want to turn our attention to California for a preliminary fatal fetish murder case for Michaela Reilerstam.
Now, she's accused of second-degree murder for the death of Michael Dale. Investigators say the victim paid Reilerstam money to put a bag on his head and then record it for her OnlyFans page. Dale died from the incident. I want to get you into court now for the beginning of this hearing for Reilerstam.
Okay, we're here for a preliminary hearing. I did get some media requests. We did have a chambers.
Yeah, this story is over an hour long on courttv.com. I am not going to listen to all of that. If you want to hear it, run on over there to courttv.com. Just letting you know some freaky people out here in the world that will pay $11,000 for someone to kill them. I think that is pretty insane. Why would you pay someone $11,000 to smother you, to wrap you up? How did you expect to live after having a bag with tape and saran wrap wrapped around your head? Can someone help me understand this? Because it ain't making sense to me. Perhaps you guys in the comment section can help me better understand how you want a bag, tape, and saran wrap, and somehow or another, this is some type of fun. You get some kind of euphoria out of this. I'd rather not. I don't want no fun. Let me be bored. I really begin. Me too. I watch a lot of court TV. Most of the time at night when I should be asleep, I'm watching court TV. In fact, sometimes I just listen to different things as I'm getting ready to go to sleep. Because I want to stay updated on what's going on in our world. I don't want to be one of those people who has no idea. Yesterday, I shared the live from the president of the United States, because he's y'all president, not mine, because I'm solo this year. For the next 4 years, I don't have a president. But he said that, he did a live where he renamed the Department of Defense the Department of War. That don't make any sense to me, but hey, it made him feel good to write his name on a piece of paper. Donald J. Trump. Baby, if you like it, I love it. If you like it, I love it. Right, I'd rather not. Exactly. Child, when I say people do some really strange things in the name of kinkiness, this gentleman apparently had his boots glued to his feet. The details that come out in this trial, or the preliminary trial, is astounding. The young lady, they have her bound and not gagged, but bound. And they asked that her attorney asked that she not be bound for the trial. And the judge said, no, she would be bound this whole time. We don't want her free. I don't know if the judge afraid she gonna come over there and wrap some tape around his head. I have no idea. Let me see if it's even in this where they're talking about it. But I will read you what they wrote. A California woman who allegedly asphyxiated a man by placing a plastic bag over his head during what prosecutors describe as a fatal fetish encounter has been bound over for trial. Michela Rashaladam appeared at Wednesday's hearing partially shackled after the judge denied a defense request to remove all restraints, citing the absence of a jury. Dr. Deborah Berry, a deputy medical examiner, testified that Michael Dale's cause of death was asphyxia due to a plastic bag in the mouth. She ruled the manner of the deceased a homicide. Rashaladam is set to be arraigned on September the 27th, and her request for bond was denied. The judge declined to specify a level of murder, saying it would be up to the jury to decide if there was evidence to imply malice. Prosecutors presented evidence suggesting Dale had arranged to pay Rashaladam for fetish activities in April of 2023. Detective Chris Zach from the Escondido, I don't know, I'm not from California, so I cannot pronounce that, police department testified about text messages found on Rashaladam's phone showing communications between her and Dale. The messages included requests for Dale asking Rashaladam to buy boots and glue them on his feet with Gorilla Glue and pour Gorilla Glue in my eyes, according to the detective's testimony. Money was offered for these activities. Andrew Smith, Dale's roommate, testified that he heard Dale's voice saying, "Can we stop? I'll pay you more money to stop," before calling 911. Smith and Dale had been living in the house for only about 5 days and had told him he would have a visitor. So I guess he told him the girl was coming over. Officer Dale Edwards, the first responding officer, testified that he found Dale lying on his back with Rashaladam providing CPR. The victim appeared unconscious with his arms bound above his head and tape around his wrists, legs bound by clear wrap and black boots. Video alleged found Rashaladam's phone showed Dale with the wrist bound and wrapped in saran wrap from his thighs down. There was also pink duct tape around his mouth and head and a plastic bag over his head, Edwards testified. The detective said the video showed Rashaladam saying, "Maybe I should tighten up your neck," and later recording herself with a motionless victim. Text messages between Rashaladam and her husband, "This girl is married," were also present, with the detective testifying that the husband expressed being excited and turned on by the photo she sent him. These messages were sent minutes before the 911 call were made. During cross-examination, Berry acknowledged that Dale had a high blood alcohol level and other medical conditions that could contribute to asphyxiation coming on earlier. Defense attorney noted that Rashaladam did not flee the scene, performed CPR on Dale, and waited for police to arrive. She was not arrested that night and was cooperative when questioned the following day. Rashada Dan was charged with murder in March of 2025. It ain't enough money on this earth. Do you hear me? It is not enough money on this earth. I don't want your hands nowhere near my neck, baby. I don't care how we doing it, what we doing. If your hands come to my neck, it stops. It just stops. Don't put your hands on my neck. And anybody know me know that's the truth. I only like no one to grab me from behind. Don't grab my neck. Let my neck free. Oh, let me see what y'all talking about over here. Good morning, Kashara. Good morning, Symmetry. Yes, I would rather not. Oh, you can't listen to y'all president, girl, me either, but I do listen to him because I want to know what he talk about. I'm a really huge A&E fan. I love anything they put out. Really? Okay. They on some serious. The stuff they on, I ain't on. Trust me, I ain't nowhere near it. I can't understand it. Mind can't comprehend it. I had a friend tell me one time about her dominatrix. I read about it, exactly. Her dominatrix experiences. And I was just like, people really do that stuff? I don't know why I thought it was just something in the movies or something you see out somewhere. But yeah, we had a whole candid conversation. I was like, oh my God, that really happens? She's like, yeah. Oh yeah. And I get paid good money to do it. Okay, girl. And when she told me she had paid off a house, bought a Land Rover and all this Range Rover, and I was like, wow. So some people are into that. Some people fly across this country to do some really strange things for a little bit of change. You just got to read about it. And a lot of times we think it may be fiction, but it be facts. It be the truth. Next thing we're going to talk about, there was a young lady, a cheerleader. I want to say she was 20 years old. I'm not really sure. But she was arrested after an infant was found unalived in her closet. And so let's talk about that. Did I pull? Yeah, I pulled it up. Let's talk about it. This is coming from Us Weekly, okay? I need to start putting where I'm getting things from. This is the young lady. Autopsy results of Kentucky cheerleaders Laken Snelling's baby explained by expert pathologists. So the pathologist, she's a pretty young lady. An expert pathologist helped explain the inconclusive autopsy results surrounding the unaliving of former University of Kentucky competitive cheerleader Laken Snelling's baby. The death of the unaliving, I'm sorry, I'm trying not to use that word. The unaliving of Snelling's infant who was found stuffed in a trash bag in Snelling's closet last week was ruled inconclusive. An extensive microscopic analysis are essential to determine the cause and manner of the unaliving, according to a report from Fayette County Coroner's Office obtained by U.S. Weekly on Thursday, September the 4th. He goes on to read about what the pathologist did, gives, of course, her background. She's from Yale School of Medicine. This lady who's just talking about what, the explaining to NBC News exactly what they do and explaining the pathology report is pretty much what this lady, Dr. Marcelo, is talking about. Marcelo Distaino, honey, me and these words are not getting along today. Let me see if this is, oh no, this is talking about something, everything else but that. But yes, if you guys want to, this article, again, is in US Weekly, and it talks about how this young lady unalived her baby, or the baby was unalived in the closet. They're not sure what happened to the baby. And who, I guess no one even knew she was expecting, but she was booked and she posted $100,000 bond to get out. We just have to be prayerful. A lot of these young folks don't even know what's up the road for them when they're doing these things. And they're just, another reason why I guess we should explain to our children what's going on in life and how it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to explain it. Good morning, Satin Baby Doll. Thank you for coming, regardless of when you get here. And it's okay. I'm trying to see if this other article pulled up that was talking about it, and it's not for some reason not giving it to me this morning. Yeah, well, anywho, we're going to move right along. Let's go over and see what our guy, Governor Newsom, has been talking about on the Twitter this week. I'm a big Twitter fan. Let's see what he's been yapping about. Governor Newsom. Let's see. He said that, wow, President Trump says about me. Galvin C. Newsom, he's a nice guy, looks good. Thank you for the kind words. Little hands. Everyone seems to be talking about me. America's favorite governor. He's my favorite governor, even though I don't live in California. He's my favorite.
Nice guy, looks good. Hi, everybody. How you doing? He's a
Oh, Governor Newsom is a mess. Look at this. Winter is coming for America's economy. Great work, Donald. So, not sure many of you know, but Governor Newsom there's an ad out for him to run for president in 2028, I guess. And so he's been selling merchandise and people have been buying it. Let me see if I can find that information. Let's go to his page. He doesn't normally post a lot of craziness on his governor's page, on his personal page, that he'd be over there clowning. But this is one of the things that we do need to discuss. Over the last 3 months, we've lost 31,000 manufacturing jobs. That means people who make textiles and parts for cars. We've lost 31,000 jobs. And I live in a city, in a state where General Motors is pretty big around here. And my understanding, they're doing a layoff. If not now, they just recently did a big layoff at the General Motors plant locally. Mining jobs, 13,000 jobs have been lost over the past 3 months. Construction, 10,000 jobs lost over the last 3 months. Unemployment is up. June job reports revised negative. This may be Trump's golden era, but it's not America's. And I totally agree with Newsom on that. He is the best troll symmetry. When I tell you he is the best troll, thank you, 2028. He is the best troll out there. He said some stuff that has me cracking up. As we previously mentioned, we're giving serious thought to taking away Stephen Miller's California residency. He is not a great American and is, in my opinion, incapable of being so. Governor Galvin Newsom is hilarious. Happy Patriots. Enjoy your weekend. When I tell you this guy is like I could probably just hang out with him all day long because he has a sarcasm that I really, really enjoy. Let's see, what else is he talking about? I had read earlier this week that Galvin Newsom apparently had stopped some issues that Donald Trump was trying to do, which was to bring the military into California and to put them on the streets. And Governor was like, not here. That ain't happening here. You can find somewhere else to put that, but they won't be coming to Kalawaki. So, I think Donald Trump really has made his match when it comes to Governor Newsom, because he's not playing with him. He's not playing with him at all. See, the next thing I found was this article about moms losing their jobs because of buses, school drop-offs. I really wasn't aware of this, and I don't have any children in school, so I have grandchildren that are in school, but their mothers dropped them off at school. So I don't have any grandchildren that are riding buses. The two that are in big school or, school, the parents dropped them off. The infant, his mom drops him off. No one is not being dropped off. So I didn't realize that school buses have had a really, really big cutback. There's not a lot of buses that are running. Several different instances why that this is becoming an issue. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Mom's career and personal time are hit hard by school drop-off demands, a poll finds. When Elizabeth Riviera's phone would ring during the overnight shift, it was usually because the bus did not show up again, and one of her 3 kids needed a ride to school. After leaving early from her job at a Houston area Amazon warehouse several times, Riviera was devastated, but not surprised when she was fired. Right now, I'm kind of depressed about it, said Riviera, 42. I'm depressed because of the simple fact that it's kind of hard to find a job, and there's bills I have to pay. But at the same time, the kids have to go to school. Riviera is far from the only parent forced to choose between their job and their kids' education, according to a new poll conducted by the Associated Press. This article comes from the Associated Press. It says the Associated Press, NORC, Center for Public Affairs Research, and Hopskip Drive, a company that relies on artificial intelligence and a network of drivers using their own vehicles to help school districts address transportation challenges. Most parents drive their children to school, the survey found, and those responsibilities can have major impact. And 1/3 of the parents saying taking their kids to school has caused them to miss work, according to the poll. Roughly 3 in 10 say they have been prevented from seeking or taking work opportunities. And 11% say school transportation has even caused them to lose a job. Mothers are especially likely to say school transportation needs have interfered with their jobs and opportunities. And then it gives a poll. School drop-offs can cost moms more than dads. So most of the time, the one who is responsible for getting a child to school is the mother. Luckily, when my children were school age, my mother, who was well into her senior years, was still driving, and she did a lot. She helped me a lot with my children. They went to private school up until 6th grade. After 6th grade, they went to public school. And in public school, they rode the bus. The unfortunate part of it was the oldest child had to be at school the latest. The youngest child had to be at school the earliest. So I could get my youngest kid off, the middle child, and then the oldest, he could see everybody get off to school. But when it was time for them to come home, the youngest would come home first, then the middle, and then the oldest child, because of the way they went to school. Luckily, my mother was always available to get my youngest off of the school bus. So much is so too. My sister tells the story all the time. She and mom were having lunch, and mom goes, "I need to go. I gotta get my baby off the school bus." And she goes, you need to work out something different with Lady Rose so she can handle this. And she said, my mom looked at her and she's like, "You need to mind your own business. I'm just gonna get my baby off the school bus." And I am forever indebted for having a mother who was so active in all of her children and her grandchildren's lives and her great-grandchildren. Most of you know I lost my mom last year, but my mother was very active. When she was alive and could go, she did not miss a birth, grandchild, great-grandchild. She was there. And even minor surgeries, anything. If you had something that you were dealing with, my mother was there. We lost my father years and years ago. My mother lived 29 years after my dad deceased. But child, when I tell you, this little lady was everywhere that you thought she could have been, she was there. Your mother's the same way. See, and thank God for those mothers, because my mother allowed me to work overtime, allowed her being there to get my child, allowed me as a nurse. Sometimes my relief wouldn't show up. And luckily I didn't have to worry about it a lot, because I could pick my, hey mom, this is happening. This, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Another reason why I got out of the business of being at bedside, because relief don't come when they supposed to come. Oh, your lady called out today. Can you work another shift? No, I want to go home. But that's sometimes what happens when you work in certain professions. Your relief doesn't show up. You're still there. You said, my mama too, best in the world. Exactly, Alicia. We have to be grateful for it. That's why I don't understand when these young kids get all in their feelings when you do the same thing your mother has done for them. So I'm appreciative to have that, but a lot of people don't have what I had. A lot of my friends, they often told me, you're blessed. I didn't have that growing up. So I think that's something that we all may have taken for granted. So to hear parents losing their jobs, being fired because of the cutbacks at the school districts is really kind of sad to me. Let's do a little bit of a lightening up. I saw this morning and I was like, I have to share this. I have to share this. My mom was also a nurse with the best bedside manners. See, I think nurses are, we are a gift from God, especially not all, because baby, it's some women that I work with that wouldn't let them treat my dog. And I'm being very honest, wouldn't let because some of them bedside manner be nasty. Be nasty. But for the most part, most of the nurses that I've encountered throughout my career are really, really good nurses. They work hard. They take very good care of their patient. They're compassionate. They have empathy, in all the things that you should possess. The only thing is I had to learn early on to leave work at work. So I have a habit. When I leave the job, I don't think about what's going on until I go back to work on Monday morning. When I leave on whatever day, my last day for the weekend, I don't think about what's going on at that job. I erase it. I take a big eraser and erase it out of my head. When I get in my car and put that sucker in reverse and pull out that driveway, I don't think about that job no more, because the very fact of work can be heavy. As a nurse, you can carry on a lot of what goes on with your people. I had a patient the other day who I just saw him doing fine, goes to the hospital with a heart attack, passes away. Those things weigh heavy on you. If you have any kind of love and compassion of others, those things weigh heavy on you. So with that being said, most nurses have the best bedside manner. Most nurses are great nurses. There are a few far and in between that are just horrible, believe it or not. And when I tell this to people all the time, the people who complain are the ones who can't get what they want. Regardless, we have to follow rules, and most nurses are not physicians, but we're always the first line of fire when something happens. When that doctor tells you you can't have what you want, guess who you take it out on? The nurse, because the doctor's not listening. He don't care. She don't care. She gone on about her business. She just wrote an order saying, tell Mr. So-and-so he can't have that hydrocodone. So when I go tell Mr. So-and-so, because this happened to me, I went and told Mr. So-and-so that Dr. So-and-so said you can't have it. I got hemmed up against the wall. I pushed the emergency button. Nobody came. So I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? He was so mad, he walked over to the other wall. And when he hit that wall, I got to the door because he was standing between me and the door. I made it a point from that point on, when I rearranged my office, to always have me closest to the door versus the patient, because I was hemmed in a room and he was between me and the door. So when he ran over and hit the wall, I beelined out the door, ran down the hallway. As I was running down the hallway, I met one of our officers coming up the hallway. I told him what happened. But that was a scary experience. Luckily, that's been the only experience I've had, knock on wood, in this profession that has been that frightening, where I thought my life was in jeopardy. But as nurses, we are always the first line of fire. You're gonna come to me and jump on me and the doctor over there in his office with his legs crossed, drinking his coffee. So, Chad, let's go to this that I found on the on the Twitter. This wasn't on TikTok. This was on Twitter. Y'all, this is hilarious, but you've got to watch it in real time. You gotta watch it one more time. I don't know if y'all can see that, but there was a gentleman who went and caught a ball, right? He caught the ball fair and square, but this lady was harassing him about the ball. She harassed him about the ball. So it was his son's birthday. So he gave her the ball. I'm going to go back to it because I want to show y'all exactly what happened later on, but that I found was heartwarming. I'm starting at the beginning so you can see. He got the ball fair and square. Fair and square. Gave his kid. Here comes a Karen. Here comes a Karen. You give me back that ball. That is my ball, and I want the ball. My kid deserves to have this ball. But I want you to see what happens later on. Let me see if I can pull it up. I thought I had it up earlier. Here it is. No, Lord, here it is. The So we brought you a cool little goodie bag. So we brought you a cool little goodie bag. You okay? All right. Happy birthday. Is not your birthday yet? Couple days. Okay. Couple days. So cruel. This lady is now famous for doing all the wrong things. Running over, getting a ball when that man really clearly got the ball. Regardless of where he came from, he got the ball. When you go to a baseball game, the balls are up for grab. Anybody can get a ball. He said, "Oh, that's scary. My cousin's husband received a restraining order while in the hospital, and I couldn't believe it. Believe it. Believe it. It happens. It happens." One of my good friends, gentlemen, is actually security for one of the main hospitals in this area. I mean, one of the main hospitals. Some of the story he tells me about the things they have to restrain during a typical work day. Some of the stories, I was like, what? See, y'all don't encounter that? Not the department I work in. We don't have none of that. I got out the bedside manner because people are mean. People are mean. I watched a lady on TikTok, one of the nurses I follow on TikTok. She said a gentleman spit on her. And she said, "I just can't do this." She said, "I went to my charge nurse and I told her what happened." Charge nurse said, she didn't think it was a racial thing. She thought it was just, the man was dying and he just angry. So he spit on her. No matter what your anger is, you don't spit on nobody. You don't do that. Yeah, Karen wouldn't. Exactly, living for me. Baby, we'd be scrapping this moment trying to get that ball. So sweet. I don't know why Adele sent me either. Hey, bad girl Riri. I just realized that was you. Yeah, I don't know why she went over there and thought that she deserved to get a ball. Is she crazy? Yeah, I want to share this as well before we move on a little further too down the road. This I thought was one of the best things I've seen on the internet. And I see a lot of good things. Hey, Queen Script. I see a lot of good things on the internet during the week. And thought this was good and worth sharing.
America is not run by the Bible. America is run by the U.S. Constitution. The job of our president, our leaders, in their oath, they have to uphold the U.S. Constitution. In America, you can be a Muslim and read the Quran. In America, you can be a Jew and read the Torah. That is our right as an American citizen. And so I realize that although I can believe that marriage is between a man and a woman based on a Judeo-Christian context and origin, that's my personal theology. That's not necessarily the basis of public policy. This is not the kingdom of God. The kingdom of God is heaven. This is America. Jesus said, my kingdom is not of this world. Most Christians who don't think, they want the entire world to think like them. Everybody does not have to believe what you believe. No matter how much you want to impose it or interject or center your experiences, your theology or your philosophical presuppositions onto somebody else, everybody does not have to believe what you believe. The difference between personal theology and public policy.
Was the Reverend Dr. E. Dewey Smith out of Atlanta, Georgia. I love me some E. Dewey Smith. To me, this man he's just a great all-around guy. And I enjoy watching E. Dewey Smith. I thought that story was great. I thought his analogy of what Christians are. A lot of times as Christians, we forget what our place is in this world. Christians are supposed to lead by example and by love. And the very fact that a lot of times we want people to be the way we want them to be because we feel like we're right and we're the only ones right, which isn't always the truth. It's not this world should not be led based on my religious belief. It should be this country should be ran based on a constitution that was put in place years ago, right? That is going to be my segue to the end of my show, to the end of this morning scoop with Lady Rowe. I saw this week. Wait a minute, let me see what Queen Script say. You see, I don't understand how Christians can be how a Christian can be a politician. They're separate. I agree with that in some. Well, I'm gonna say I agree with that. I believe you need to separate religion from your political beliefs. I just believe they should. I think a Christian can be a politician. I just think you need to be able to separate your beliefs from your job as a politician. All views, all things that I'm expressed are alleged, and they are, in my opinion. Ain't nobody told me to do nothing. I do what I want to do because I'm a grown woman. All views expressed in this live are alleged. In my opinion, they are for entertainment purposes only. Please don't get in your feelings. Don't go make no live about it. I'm just saying what I'm saying because I can say what I want to say, and ain't nobody gonna hurt me behind it. That's it. That's it. That's all. Let's see. It's a bit better. I finally tried to. Oh, she's talking about her surgery. Yeah, the chest piece is hilarious. Ain't nobody told me to do nothing. Ain't nobody told me to do nothing. I do what I want to do. And you better ask somebody. I do exactly what I want to do. But I saw this right here on the internet this week on Instagram. As you see, this came from a person by the name of Melody Cherie. And I screenshotted it along with some other things that she had posted. I ain't gonna put none of those things up here because none of it matters. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's all bull crap. It means absolutely nothing. When I say it means nothing, it means absolutely nothing. This chess piece means absolutely nothing. Let me tell you about the game of chess. Let me get a little closer to the screen. Let me scoop my chair up. Come on, chair, move up. There we go. Roll on a little closer. The game of chess is to get the queen over to the other side to conquer. That's the game of chess, right? But as you see in front of this chess piece, she has a pawn. She has a little piece here that she's just playing with, right? One thing we know about a queen, we've seen Queen Elizabeth, we've seen Queen Victoria, if you go back through history and look through some of the way England is ran through the parliament and the queen, their system. The queen is there to look beautiful, sign pieces of paper. She doesn't get her hands dirty. She knows how to conduct herself, and she's not out here doing things that are unseen. Excuse me. So I penned an open letter, and I'm going to read it based on the very fact that the Queen decided that she wanted to post a Queen piece. When personal wounds are paraded on social media, the results is rarely healing. It's a spectacle. And that's what YouTube has become this week, a spectacle. I've been looking at the spectacles from page to page to page. It's been a spectacle. A child created by no fault of their own has now been turned into a pawn, into a drama designed for sympathy, shares, and payola. And the truth is this, that is not only harmful, but it is also dangerous. The Bible speaks plainly, suffer little children to come unto me, and forbid them not, for such is the kingdom of heaven. Children are innocent. They are not reminders of sin, nor symbols of betrayal. They are human souls, worthy of embrace, not rejection. When you refuse a child's hug because of an adulterous sting, you're not punishing the guilty, you are punishing the blameless. And I don't want to get emotional, but I am. But the deeper issue is bigger than one decision. We are watching a growing pattern where people trade private pain for public attention. Performative suffering has become currency online. So the very fact that you want to perform for others, I'm going to take my glasses off, it's become a way for you to make money. At what cost? At what cost? Stories of betrayal, anger, and rejection are packaged for clicks, for likes, and donations. The problem is that in turning grief into content, truth becomes distorted, accountability is lost, and children become collateral damages. This is not strength. It is not a testimony. And it is not the faith we claim to walk in. Social media cannot heal you. The applause of strangers cannot restore your heart. Therapy, prayer, repentance, and real accountability can. But only if you're willing to step away from the spotlight long enough to face the truth. Let this be a call, not just to one individual, but to all of us. Stop confusing spectacle with strength. Stop rewarding public displays of bitterness as if they are bravery. And most of all, protect the children. Their innocence should never be sacrificed for attention. The measure of our faith is not how loudly we cry out online, but how quietly we love those God placed in front of us, especially the least of these. And remember, children are the least of these. The Bible specifically says the least of these. If you've done it to the least of these, you've also done it unto me. I didn't mean to cry this morning because when I wrote this letter, when I penned this, when I put this together, I meant this with all sincerity. But I want you to understand that you have to remember that you cannot mistreat children. I thank you guys for joining my live today. I hope that you got something great out of it. I hope that we too, throughout the week, can remember that children are innocent. If a child walks up to me and wants a hug, I'm going to give them a hug. Hearing someone say that, because I can get past all the rest of your BS, because it doesn't matter. BS is BS. It means absolutely nothing. When I say it means nothing, it means nothing. You're just on here tickling your fancy and talking crazy to people about stuff that it doesn't matter, right? None of that matters. But when you say, oh, a child came up to me and I turned my back on them, a child came up to me and I turned my back on him. The child was probably following his siblings for whatever reason. And he saw you, the kids were giving you a hug, and he wants to give you a hug. But I turned my back on this innocent kid because of the bitterness I got with his mammy and his pappy. This ain't no taking up for Martell. This ain't no taking up for Ariana, because guess what? They got to see God for themselves. They got to take care of that, what they've done. Because my Bible says that that Jesus is writing down everything we've done in this flesh, all the good and the bad. That's what the Bible says. So you tell me, a gentleman who created a baby, him and a girl created a baby. This baby had nothing to do with what happened. When he popped in this world, his eyes opened up. He did not know what had gone on before he got here. Period. But for you to turn your back on a child, baby, oh my goodness. May God have mercy on your soul. May he have mercy on your soul. Because there ain't a child, they can walk up to me, I don't care how much I dislike their parent, and they want to hug me and I not hug them back. Not on this earth. Not in 2022, 2023, whatever years you could pull up on a piece of paper and read it out to America. None of it would have stopped me from giving this child a hug. Because guess what? At the end of the day, he don't live with you. He lives with his parents. He lives with his mom. All he wanted was a hug. Children are so innocent. The Bible even speaks about how that unless you could come to God in the spirit of a child, because a child is humble, that God won't even accept your prayers or your praise. You have to come to him that same likeness as a child. That is scripture. I didn't make that up. That's the Bible. We want to, I hear her, the same person with the queen. We hear her online, and she's talking about the Lord, and she sprayed, and God said go, and we're going to have a prayer meeting. But you can't believe part of the Bible if you ain't going to believe all of it. Unless you come to God as humble as a child, you won't make it into the kingdom. That's the Bible. I didn't make that up. Children are so innocent. We make them guilty. But they're innocent. They're innocent people. Let me go over here and let's see what y'all talking about. Let's talk about it. Oh my goodness, y'all. I don't know where these tears came from, but child, trust me, they ain't no weak tears, because baby, these hands is lethal, just like everybody else's. Everybody want to talk trash? I can talk trash too. That's not how this works. Baby, I get emotional when it comes to kids. I get emotional when it comes to people hurting children. Because as a nurse, that is something that I cannot tolerate. I worked with peds for about, I would say, 8 months. And I remember going home every day from work and hugging my children, because none of them were sick. None of them were missing limbs or being fed through a G-tube or having to have a catheter or any of the other things that I saw in these peds that I was working with. To the point where I went to my supervisor after about 8 or 9 months and said, I can't do this no more. She was like, really? I was like, I can't do this no more. This is weighing on me like a ton of bricks. And I got out of pediatric nursing. Thank you, Queen Script. I appreciate that, girl. That mess is hurtful. She's mentally sick, and I'm not trying to be funny. Exactly. It's hurtful. And you can't tell me you did it as a mother. I did it because I'm a mother, and that's not what mothers do. The mother in me will give the baby a hug. What is a hug? It's an emotion. Guess what? Sometimes giving someone a hug may be the only thing, a hug they get that day. I just saw a young lady, and I think I shared it with the mod group, my sisters on TikTok, and people were on the subway, and she go up to the window, and she blew them a kiss. The amount of people that were blowing kisses back, giving her hearts, and then one lady ran off the subway just to give her a hug, because you don't know what that kiss may have meant for her, what that reaching out that heart meant for her. But you want to do this to a child. Let's move on. Talk about it. I'm going to talk about it. That's one thing I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about it. Children should never be mistreated. What a hateful, helpful. Exactly, bad girl Riri. Should never be mistreated. You wouldn't want somebody mistreating your kids. You don't wouldn't want nobody out here not hugging pushing your kids away, turning their back on your child. Is that what you want for your children? Because guess what? What goes around seems to always come back around. The Bible talks about the law of sowing and reaping. The Quran talks about the law of reciprocity. You don't believe that what you put out here in this universe comes back. It comes back, and it never comes back the way you send it out. It may come back and affect your children. It may come back and affect you. It may come back and affect your family members. You never know. Yeah, a lot of people sick today don't know why they sick. But you forgot you did XYZ to sister girl yesterday. Did XYZ to sister girl the day before yesterday. Did XYZ to sister girl last year. That mess comes back home. It comes back home. I'm sorry. Right. A child is innocent regardless. I bet in Africa, she hugged all those kids. Girl, has she been to Africa? Girl, no child deserves that. That's not Christ-like behavior. It's not. It's not. It's not at all. See, that's terrible. That child and I has to be at all. Who denies a child an affection? That's a deep. Exactly. Can you imagine? Just imagine, ladies, because I think there's no gentleman in here. Just imagine a child running up to you for a hug. Just running up to you for a hug. And you turn your back on that child. Or ignore the child. Rest of the kids standing there, and because you've now come into a place where this child is at as well, and you just ignore this kid. Everybody else, you give everybody else a piece of candy, and when you don't give him a piece of candy, how are you treating this kid? Are you okay, heifer? Are you okay? Because you can't tell me you okay if you would do something like this to a kid. This is a child. A little kid. I'm not talking about no teenager. I'm talking about a kid. What she thinks she's teaching her children? She's a fool, but God takes care of fools. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. I totally agree with that. He takes care of children and fools. I believe that. I believe that more than anything. If someone did that, she would have exactly. She probably tear up the internet. You think she's selling some jacked up products now? She be selling you this fan. And so. Yeah, and order 3 of these. 2 for $99, 6 for $4.49. Girl, stop doing kids like that. Because it's coming back to you. You could best believe it's coming back. Payday is coming after a while. You may not believe it, but it's gonna happen. Payday coming back after a while, baby. Some people don't realize this, but keep playing with God and watch him take his hand. Ooh, come on, baby. Come on, bad girl. That right there, preach all by itself. The hedge of protection is priceless. And to me, she's losing it and spazzing out on the internet for all the world to see. For all the world to see. All the world is seeing this. All the world is seeing you spaz out based on what? What are we basing it on? What is the problem? If you need money, just tell these people. In fact, just go down there. Instead of selling those products online, have somebody else sell the products online. And you go down there and do some classes or go down, do your motivational speaking. Them people give you their whole paycheck almost. Just go down there and do it. Give it to them. They will give you the money. They will give it to you. I don't know what you got. Baby, you probably should have been a preacher. So you collect them offers. But they will give you the check. So just go down there and do what you got to do. How should you feel or react if Mary, I guess I want to say if Ariane behaved that way towards exactly. Because we've heard Ariane say, I've cooked them breakfast, I've taken them shopping. I remember Ariane, we can say what you want to about Ariane, in the store, pushing a cart along. I think they were in H&M, and she was buying stuff. We'll get this for this child and this child. I'm not going to name anybody's kids' names, but this child, and this child. And she was shopping, right? So what if she felt if she only bought clothes for her kids, her 2 kids? But you want me to believe that a child who lives with her mother says she wants you to be her mama. Girl, she don't want you to be her mama. Who wants you to be their mama? Your kids probably want you to be their mama. She's a part-time mama, which is why she may think this is okay. We all know Martell has the real maternal instincts that missed her long-haired tail. He might. I don't know. I don't know if she's a part-time mom, but here's what I do know. You carry at least 4 kids to term. 9 months of carrying a baby. I remember my first baby when I was pregnant. I was a little girl. I was a little bitty thing. I was weighed 108 pounds and I got pregnant. And I remember when he first started kicking. I was pregnant. I didn't know what pregnancy, really was until I first felt that first kick. Oh my, something real in here. There's something real in here. That made me automatically adapt to whatever this is growing inside of me is a part of me. To the point that when he came out, I wanted to hold him. I wanted to embrace him and love and kiss on him and smell him and brush his hair and just do all the things that mothers should do. So you can't tell me that you would carry a child to term and not understand what, because you know how to love on your child. So you can't tell me that you wouldn't know how to love on someone else's child. That makes zero sense to me. I don't understand it. I was told to be nice to everyone. You may be the only kind. You may be the only kind word or gesture in that day for someone. Exactly. Good morning, everyone. I'm late. Got to run it back. The lady's still out here showing her tail, shaking my head. Mature grown women does not act like this. I totally agree. I believe the whole children like Ariane, but male will try to poison any connection they can have. Exactly. Because I'm going to tell you what stepmoms have a tendency to do. Stepmoms, outside moms, other baby moms, they have a tendency to tell the kids things. And then when the kids return, they say, oh, this or that and the other about my mama said this or my mama said that. And then they gossip with their children. We already know she talk in front of her kids just by the things that the kids say to her in conversation on her lives. So we know she gossip with them because those grown adult conversations that these kids are having back. I will say this. When I was single, there was this gentleman I was dating. He was divorced, but he had a child. And the kid was in the backseat one day, went to go pick the kid up. And he's driving. The little kid says, my mama, he touches the front seat. My mama said for me not to give you none of her kisses. I said, when you get home, you tell your mama that I wasn't going to take none of your kisses. No way, I don't even like kids. I was being funny. But the very fact that this little boy who I just met tells me that his mama said not to give me none of his kisses. What make your mama think I'm gonna kiss on you and I just met you? I just thought that was crazy. We both, me and his daddy both laughed. In fact, he laughed. He may have been about 7 or 8 years old. He was giggling. Tell your mama she don't have to worry about me kissing you. I don't even like kids. Hilarious. Trauma grift. Exactly. That's all that is. Let me get these women down here. Do this rage baiting, because that's what it is. It's rage baiting. Because if I come to you with a story that happened 2, 5, 6, 10 years ago, and I start telling you about it, and you get upset about it as though it happened yesterday, right? That is rage baiting. I don't care how you come out here. If I come out here and tell you a story on September the 2nd about something that happened on August the 18th, that is rage baiting. Because if I truly was upset about it on August the 18th, I would have clicked my button and said, let me tell you what this sucker did today. He trying me, but I'm gonna get him. And so, oh Lord, I dropped my pen. So I really believe that the people who are listening to this and getting all riled up about it have to understand that they're being used as pawns, period. Using the code, I turn my back, girl. Ooh, Lord have mercy. She cannot believe the show is moving on without her. Martell had people siding with him, and she is losing. Exactly. She's calling people pick-me's because I guess they're side. I ain't siding with Martell. I ain't siding with Ariane. I'm on the side of right. I don't care who's telling right. That's the side I'm on. What I know is wrong is you mistreating a child. I know for a fact that is wrong. Can't nobody tell me nothing different. The Fletchers have a fan base, and now Nell is her enemy. She's a jealous woman. Girl, let me tell you something what I do know. We talked about this before. One thing about Scorpios is they're going to get you back. They're very vindictive, very vindictive. They've got to get you back. They've got whatever's going on. They've got to get you back. Whatever you do to them, they're going to do it again. I don't believe Ari would treat those kids bad. I think her way with kids enduring him to her. I think so too. I think so too. Queen Script. I agree with that. And you know, the sad part is we know that the other group, the cast, they're not really talking about her. The Scotts are going on with their lives. They're putting on a show, but this coming out here rage baiting and creating a spectacle on the TV show. I mean, on social media, not the TV show. On social media is going to affect this show because she has roughly about 3,000 of her fans that are probably going to be raising hell the whole weekend when the show comes on tonight, pushing buttons. And, you know, we've seen video after video after video after video after video after video popping up about these people talking about this show. She even in her rage talked about Nell and Chris. She said Chris says something, and then all of a sudden you're mad at the Fletchers. Oh, yeah. Martell told us on the show that you can't keep friends. He told us. It was in the wording. We see that you get friends, and when they don't do as you want them to do, you discard them. Thanks for coming back, Kashara. You discard them. And if friendships are so discardable for you, why do you even try? Just stay over there and wherever you're doing your packaging at and send out your gifts and goodies with your friends that are there, the people that you pay, which are normally when you pay people, they become yes men, right? So if I'm paying you, I expect you to do what I want you to do. Otherwise, I'm going to fire you and I'm going to get somebody else over here that's going to do what I want them to do. Yes, just acting a fool. Just acting a fool for no reason. But what I want everybody to take away from here is that we as a people, this last part that I put in this story, this letter, I want us to take it away. Let this be a call, not just to one individual, but to all of us. Stop confusing spectacles with strength. Stop rewarding public displays of bitterness as if they are bravery. And most of all, let's protect the children. Their innocence should never be sacrificed for attention. Should never be. The child's name should never come out of her mouth. Never come out of her mouth. Regardless if she should never even mention. If you dislike a kid that much, don't even mention him. Don't even talk about him. Talk about something else. Talk about the weather. Talk about a car. Leave the kid alone. Keep him out of it. That's what you should do. No Lip Lauren. Oh, the lady used the. That's a good question. I haven't seen her in a while, but I don't watch her, so she could be on a leave or you know, I don't know. Again, everything I'm saying is just for entertainment purposes. It's all alleged. It's in my opinion. I told you I was going to give you some criticism over here. This is my critique because at the end of the day, no matter what you do, stop using a child as a pawn for sympathy and payola. Stop it. Stop it. Stop. We see you. I see you. Your skirt is showing. We see you. Anybody else with me that see her? We see you. Your skirt is showing. You went on here. You start talking about prosperity because you saw where she had responded. We can only go by what you've told us. So you told us he ain't never hit me. Now he hit you. Which one is it? Because you out here what are you telling us stories or are you telling us the truth? Come on now. You can't get mad at nobody for throwing up in your face what you said. You said it. And so now who you mad at? You mad at me for reminding you about what you said. I don't follow you, right? So if no one is sitting up watching your lives all day, watching your Instagram or whatever else, and we just get bits and pieces here and there, they're not going to know that you called the police on Martell back in 2020. We're not gonna know that Martell went and grabbed a pow and as you said, and showed it to you, and you somehow in the force of it, he had the pow, you threw a knife at him, but he also recorded it. I don't know. It was kind of confusing to me. Maybe other people understood it. They can explain it to me later. I don't know. But here's what I do know. You as a grown ass woman got on here on this Beyonce internet and talked about a child. And I pray that the Lord has mercy on your soul. I pray that he does. I pray that he does, because this child is innocent. You wouldn't want nobody on here talking about your turning their back on your child. Because if your child came to me and wanted a piece of candy, I would give it to her. If your child came to me and wanted a piece of gum, I would. If your child wanted a hug, I would give your child a hug. You don't hurt children like that. You just don't. You just don't. Don't hurt children like that. Her ex-husband tried to tell us about her character and her harvesting of others. People are disposable, and they are. And you know what, bad girl Riri? That's the sad part. The sad part is when your friends are dispensable. I don't want you no more. Okay, you've served me no good anymore. So boom, we're no good. And I want to just talk about something that I noticed too. They fought because she ain't scared. Oh yeah. Exactly. We saw the video of her chasing him down, and he said, okay, I'll delete it. I don't know what that was about, but child, she was giving him a run for his money. How many years they've been divorced? You still sitting there with another man complaining about your ex. Child, what you said. What you had said. But here's what I'm gonna tell you that I noticed. And we're gonna go and get off here this Saturday morning. I'm gonna go to a pickle festival after I go to leave the gym, go get my nails done and all that stuff. But I'm gonna go to this pickle festival. But let's just talk candidly for a moment. Letitia Scott came on this show. When she came on, y'all remember she was pushing a stroller with her youngest child in it. I want to say she was still even breastfeeding her baby. And Letitia was a stay-at-home mom. Her and Marsau had come to an agreement that she would, even though she was degreed, we know that Letitia is the most degreed person on this show, has 2 masters, and Letitia was just a stay-at-home mom. Staying at home, well, I'm gonna say just she was a stay-at-home mom. She would stay at home with your kids, girl. I'm sure she'd rather work because kids can be a job. But she was a stay-at-home mom, which was something she and Marsau had decided she would do. Whereas Mel and Martell were working, right? And I don't know if there was something along the way that she may have wanted, that Letitia may have had. I'm not sure what it was, but she began to get in Letitia's ear. You need to get out here, and I want to take you. I remember episode, I want to show you to some friends. I want them to eat. I want to introduce you to some friends so you can network with them. And they went to this event, and she was networking, and she went back and told Marsau, I want to get out here and do, pursue this career. And Marsau said, that ain't what we agreed to. You don't went out here and let somebody else try to trick your spot. So from that point on, when Letitia did not want to be, I guess, under her thumb, she became the arch enemy. I don't know where it came from, but it seemed like all of a sudden this was a decent show when it first started, because I've been watching this from day one. It was a decent show when it first started. And then we went to We Don't Like Tisha. Oh, she talks really, her verbiage is horrible and she can't talk well. And then Letitia went on to tell us that she had a speech impediment and that she even did speech therapy online. And we took that and we made it a pawn. We made it something as leverage against her. We also made it into something against her mom, right? We know Miss Wanda get out here and she a little jazzy, sip her little drink. And Miss Wanda's who Miss Wanda is. And I had this conversation with my sister yesterday. I think when people get a certain age, they are who they are. There's no changing. That's just who they are. So if someone is needy and worrisome and bothersome, that's just who they are. There's no changing them. So I believe that Miss Wanda, she's just who she is. She likes to have fun. She likes to have a good time. She's going to be a little messy, but she is who she is. There's no change in Miss Wanda. So because Miss Wanda's from Alabama, a little town called Bessemer, people take that and they use her dialect against her. She has told them, I didn't do well in school and I don't understand. I don't understand a lot of big words, but people take that and they use it against her. These same people misspell words, talk with broken English like we all do, talking Ebonics, but we choose and pick who we want to pick on. We have gone down the line and we have picked on Tisha. We have picked on Tiffany Whitlow. We picked on, God knows why they're picking on Destiny. Lord, can someone please tell me why they are picking on Destiny? I don't get it. Calling her Dusty. We could believe that everybody else has been hurt in this thing but Destiny. Destiny needs to tell us about why she got the divorce, and yet still we know that her divorce records, she was unable to talk about it. But she got to get down here and you better come tell us. You better come tell us. And all the while, we have a male telling us the whole time that I done went over there and I had to check him for Destiny. I went over there and I checked LeBerry for Destiny. I did X, Y, and Z, but I was on the phone. I heard him talking crazy to her. But somehow or another, when it get down to it, Destiny is Dusty. Destiny is this. Destiny is that. Do y'all ever hear what come out y'all mouth? Or do you listen? It bothers me. To the point where I think half of y'all crazy. Because what Destiny do to y'all? What did Destiny do to Mel? Somebody tell me that you need a whole army to come through and fight this woman that you live in the same city with and you have been around. Somebody needs to come and corral her and get her together because of you. Somebody help me, because I don't get it. I don't get it. Yes, it was a swift bully. Exactly. Definitely that. Mel gathered a group of bitter women and thirsty content creators to become her pawns. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, Queen Script. She did that with the knowing that over here on YouTube, Love and Marriage Huntsville, at one point, it brought in some money, right? It brought in the dollars coming over here, and you could make good money just by talking about that content. In all honesty, whether it was good or bad, it brought publicity to the show. But the very fact that these people took this information and became hostile citizens of this here United States of America based on this show is insanity. It's insanity. Going around calling themselves, well, and I guess you could say the same thing about the Barbs. That people, they just kind of get in whatever they're in and they get stuck there. But I don't understand it. I think it's strange to me. And I guess because I'm a free thinker, I don't need anybody else to think for me. I can think for myself, that I see what she's doing. Again, we did the Destiny. We came against Letitia. We came against Tiffany Whitlow. We came against Destiny. We last year we went up against Latricia. Trisha, because number one, she didn't open up her mouth, and then she was with Martell. Can you believe she was with Martell? So now she's a part of the enemy, right? Okay, so then we're gonna go on past that, and now we've added Nell and Chris Fletcher to it. Oh yeah, I forgot Symmetry. Thank you, girl, Stormy. Oh my God, we got mad at Stormy for what? What exactly was the reason why we got mad at Stormy? Let me back it up. Was it because Miss Betty got you together? What was the reason why you got mad at Stormy? I don't know. What's the reason why y'all are going out here messing with these people? What's the reason? So you got Letitia. We're gonna go back through the list. Letitia. We have Tiffany Whitlow, Destiny. We have. She don't like Kimmy that much either. So we're gonna go and add Kimmy to the list. Nell, Chris Fletcher, Stormy. Who do you like? Who do you love? Girl, come on, tell us, because we confused. Let me see. Let's go. Wanda's real, and that's that. She is pretty, smart, and she is. She is. The very fact that Wanda will get out here and hit that live button, and they afraid that she gonna tell what she know. That's part of the reason why they don't like Wanda. They're afraid Wanda gonna tell what she know. Because of male, exactly. It is low-key colorism and classism too. Exactly. You got to be kidding me. Thanks for joining. You are absolutely correct. Letitia Scott, a little darker hue, but absolutely beautiful. She has dimples that are absolutely, she's a pretty girl, period. And then she went and got that body together and started working out, and she chiseled out in the right place. So much so until Martell even said, look, Marcel, Letitia looking good over here now. You better get yourself together. You're going to lose this good thing that the Lord done gave you. Yes, exactly. Destiny has told us about her DV issues and so on and so forth, but no one wants to believe Destiny. No one should have to scream from the mountaintop, I have been a part of abuse at whatever level it is. It happened to me. Listen to me. No one should have to scream that to you. I saw one of my girlfriends posted yesterday, believe women. Believe women. I say yes to that until the woman done told several different stories. So who do you believe? And I believe everybody can lie. You said, I don't like that they don't like that she is friends with Martell. Exactly. But you can't stop me from being friends with nobody. Just because you hate somebody, that don't mean I hate them. You know what I'm saying? I tell my girlfriends that all the time. I don't like her. Girl, that's you. She ain't never did nothing to me. I'm just going to sit over here and I'm going to chit-chat with her just like I chit-chat with everybody else. Now, if she do something to me, that's a different story. But she ain't never done nothing to me, so I'm not mad at her. They too old for this behavior. Queen Script. Yesterday, I listened to a content creator who had a call-in show. And on the call-in show, the ladies that were calling in were all telling their different stories about why this person, these women sounded very seasoned. You know, like you season something, you put it in the oven, bake it, it gets well done. These women sounded very seasoned. But these women were talking about they were going to go fight people, jump on people, hurt people. I got screenshots to prove what I said. I ain't just make none of this up. Let's not forget Stormy, exactly, allegedly. Thank you, Living for Me. She triangulates each and every time. Exactly. I don't like how Black people make fun of Southern accents. American Black folks are from the South, and the majority of us have moved back. Stop. Exactly. I have a Southern drawl. I worked very hard to get rid of some of it because it used to be really hard. Because I went to an all-white school. I was the only Black kid there, and they all talk like that. So I used to talk like that too. And I was like, oh my God, I cannot do this in America. I've got to get rid of that. So sometimes it'll pop out, but I've worked very hard on trying to suppress it. And I used to actually talk like, and I work very hard to get rid of that. I am who I am. Love me or leave me. Either one. Tisha is Wanda's twin. She is definitely her twin. They are, when I tell you those jeans, and even Kiki, beautiful women. The women that come out of their family, they're just absolutely beautiful women. You can't stop a friendship at all. Over 50 is still, girl. Queen Script. I'm gonna give you one this one. Girl, stop. You know what I'm saying? Just it's crazy. I try to wrap my mind around it. In fact, I've even asked you guys, are we in the Twilight Zone or something? Some of the craziness that some of these women who are over the age of 50 exhibit is wild. Lies after lies, and getting online and talk about how you ain't gonna fight nobody. You ain't gonna fight a gnat out your rear end. Stop it. And you beat that keyboard up all you want to, girl. I can beat mine up too. A lot of times I just stop because Argue with you for what? Girl, it doesn't mean no good arguing with you. If it's the live I watch, baby, all of them. You hear me? Living for me. It's the same one because I think we were both watching it. All of them can go to jail. All of them. Oh my goodness. I couldn't even believe what I was hearing. I couldn't even believe it. Southern and country. Queen Scream. Stop it. I absolutely sing when I speak. Southern girl at heart. Exactly, bad girl Riri. I have a hard, I know, I've heard your voice. You do. You have, but it's not hard. I love a New York accent. The thing is, a New York accent and a New Orleans accent are almost identical. It's very, when I listen, I be like, gotta listen real hard. You from New York? Yeah. You from New Orleans? Uh-huh. You gotta hear them. But they're very close together. Men love Southern women. They keep their femininity. Exactly. Hey, girl. Girl. Yes, bad knees and back too, all of it bad. And you out here trying to talk about who you gonna fight. I'm gonna tell you one other thing I want to talk about. Last night I heard in a content creators live that nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. But last night before I went to bed, I had talked about this with Butterfly a couple of days ago. I wanted to encourage her and to keep her head on a swivel like she keep telling us. But I talked about the book of Job, talked about the story of Job with her. And I want to talk about it with you guys just for a second. It's only going to be, I'm not going to preach nothing like that, but just the story of Job and just what the Bible says about Job. Job, the first chapter. There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, and that man was perfect, and that man was upright, and that man feared God. That's not what the scripture says. It said the man was perfect and upright, and that one that feared God. He eschewed evil. And I told her about the story of Job and how that the devil was going here, just going here and fro in the earth, trying to find somebody he could mess with. And God asked me, had you consider my servant Job? But I didn't. That's not what I want to talk about. I just wanted to mention the fact that we say people aren't perfect, but we can strive for perfection. We can get close to it. Being evil is a choice. Being mean is a choice. Being disrespectful is a choice. Treating people unseemly is a choice. You can make the choice to be good. You can make a healthy, conscious decision today to choose right from wrong. We make the choice to go out here and mistreat people. We make the choice to go out here and disrespect children. We make the choice to go out here and instigate drama and trauma on other people. Those are choices. So I don't want to hear no more about ain't nobody perfect, because the Bible says in Job, first chapter, first verse, there was a man in the city of Uz named Job, and that man was perfect. We not Job. We not perfect, but we can strive for perfection, right? Meaning that I can make a conscious decision today to be a better Lady Rowe than I was yesterday, to be a better Lady Rowe than I will be tomorrow. It's just a conscious decision. Just make a conscious decision to be a better you. Better yous make better communities make better cities make better states make better countries. If we want to change this world, you got to look back in that mirror at you. You make a conscious decision to be a better you. Stop getting on this internet disrespecting children. That's my biggest takeaway from today. Stop getting on this here internet disrespecting children. Sometimes I wish they take some of our internet access away. Just take it away, because some of us don't need it. We don't know how to use it properly. Take it away. Take it away. Some of y'all get on the internet and do the most. You don't even know how to not argue on the internet. But to get on this internet and talk about a child, baby, that should be something that they take you to court for and remove all privileges from. It should just be gone. Because you made a conscious decision to get on the internet and talk about a kid because you got a whole group of ignorant women that are going along with your BS. Girl, do better. Do better. That's enough. I don't have no more else to say today. No more else. If no one told you today that they love you, I love you, there ain't a thing you can do about it. Please like, share, subscribe to this channel. Tell a friend. Tell a friend. I got 99 subscribers. I would love to be way over 100. We're going to keep talking about travel. We're going to keep talking about current events. Every Saturday, I find great stories. Today, we talked about some really good stories. We talked about Montel Jordan, prostate cancer awareness. Make sure that you are telling your loved ones. September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. Tell your gentleman that you love to go out and get their screenings done, because we love our men. We need you here. Men, we can't have these babies without you. So we need you to go get them prostates checked so you can stay around and take care of us and these babies. Dr. Heavenly, we talked about her and her run for the seat in Georgia. Make sure that you follow up on that. She was on Jamal Bryant's podcast. She's talked about Bravo. You know, they had to work it in their contract so that she could be able to talk about it on the show. So we will see that on Married to Medicine this season, her and her run for her campaign. Dr. Heavenly Kynes is running for the Georgia House of Representatives for District 93, a Democrat. She is campaigning on issues such as healthcare access, education, economic opportunities, and police reform, aiming to give a voice to the community she has been a part of for over 25 years. So you guys, if you're in Georgia, look out for Dr. Heavenly. I like Dr. Heavenly, and I believe that she wants the best for her people, our people. I've seen her do these what she call them, Dr. Heavenly University or whatever, but she's teaching people how to save money, keep money, and leave money for the future, generational wealth. We talked about Michelle Rashaladam, the young lady from the OnlyFans model who a gentleman paid her $11,000 for a kinky act, and he ended up unalived. We talked about the cheerleader who had a baby that was found unalived in her closet. We talked about how mothers are losing their jobs because of school cutbacks and budget reforms. And then last but not least, we did talk about the baseball game with the Karen. We watched E. Dewey Smith tell us some really good news. If you don't follow E. Dewey Smith and you have a Facebook page, follow Dr. E. Dewey Smith over there. If you live in Atlanta, go visit his church. He is one of the best preachers, and he can sing as well. One of the best preachers you ever want to listen to. And then we talked about leaving kids alone. Okay, we're going to leave the children alone. We're going to let them make it. We're going to take care of our children. We're going to protect the children at all costs. If no one told you today again that they love you, I love you, there ain't a thing you can do about it. Y'all have a great Saturday.